Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Precious. If you're new here, if you're seeing this gorgeous face for the first time, please ensure not to make it your ass by clicking on the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up, leave your lovely comments down below, share, and yeah, do all the good stuff. Anyways, yeah, this is the okay, so this is the first sit down video for 2023. Happy New Year, guys. I know I've said this before, but let me officially say it again. Happy New Year, guys. May this year be a fruitful year for each and every one of us. May it be good, may our goals be achieved, may our heart desires be achieved, and may we live to see the end of the year and more fruitful years ahead. Amen. Okay, so back to the video. Today's video, I'll be telling you guys from my own perspective, my own opinions, in quotes, disclaimer, my opinions, the downsides of living or moving to Canada. So the first downside for me is loneliness. It gets really lonely here. Like, it's very easy to be depressed if you're not conscious of it. You find yourself in that position. It's so easy to get very lonely here. It's so easy to get very depressed here because for someone like me who came here alone, it's difficult because of course I live alone. So sometimes when I'm alone and I think of family, friends, I just get in some sort of awkward mood, and before you know, like, sometimes I start crying, but I try not to, so I fight it so bad because even if I cry from today to tomorrow, my family members are not going to come overnight, neither am I going to Nigeria anytime soon. So you get what I mean. So I just try to put myself together, distract myself, do fun things that will always make me not depressed. I'm someone who is hardly depressed. I don't let such things get to me. Like, I'm like, how hard can he be? That's my mindset. So I try to live with that because even as humans, we're going to face difficulties as the day goes by. Every day is not going to be all lovey-dovey and smooth and all of that. We're going to have obstacles, right? We're going to have bad days. So I always set my mind to be prepared mentally, emotionally for such days, for such situations. And again, as adults, it's really difficult to make friends. I can literally count the number of friends I have here. I've been here since May. In fact, all the people I have as friends are black people. I don't have any white friend. I don't even have a white acquaintance. Maybe because I work from home, so I don't get to like interact with people. And even when I go out, I go for like whatever gathering I go for. It's mostly like the black community. It's mostly black people, and that could be one of the reasons why I don't have friends of other color. I'm looking forward to that because I would like to have like mixed friends. I've had black friends all my life, so a touch of white would not be a bad idea. You get what I mean? So it really gets lonely. Yeah, it really gets lonely because even families that come here, you still hear them talk about complain about such things, like them being lonely from time to time. And again, here people like to mind their business. Like, people like to mind their business in this Canada a lot. Even your neighbors, to say hi to you is a problem. You get what I mean? So this kind of things can really lead to like depression because most times you're your own and all of that. And again, in this country, it's just most times it's work, work, work. You go to work, you come back, you go to work, you come back. So you don't even have the time to associate with people like you would want to. The second downside of living in Canada or moving to Canada is that it is very expensive. You guys, it's really expensive to live here. I know that right now the economy is really like shitty in like the entire world, but here is really expensive. Canada is so expensive when it comes to groceries, when it comes to like house rent, when it comes to anything you can think about. Like, it's really expensive to live here. Even when it comes to the healthcare, you know, they tell you that, oh, healthcare is free. Yes, it's free to see a doctor and all of that is free, but when you need to get like medications, right, prescriptions, those things are not free. Because the other day I went to the hospital and I wanted to get a vaccine that I have to get 3 times, so it's 3 shots, and they told me each shot is over It's almost $300. You guys, almost $900 for a vaccine that I know will not cost me up to 100,000 naira in Nigeria. Like, it's terrible. You get what I mean? So it's really expensive to live here. And when it comes to groceries, they import most of their things. So that's why I believe the prices are on the high side. And every day these things keep increasing. You get what I mean? Nowadays it's even cheaper to eat out than even say you're going to buy groceries, because even the groceries you're buying, how long is it going to last for you? You get what I mean? So it's really expensive. And especially if you're trying to get like the local food, like Nigerian food that we're used to, going to the African store, like, things are very expensive there. I know I've said it a few times on my channel. Maybe I've tried to compare, and that's the thing. How long do you want to keep comparing these things? You're here now, so you just have to get on with the status quo, right? So living here is expensive. That's just the long and short of what I'm trying to say. The third downside of moving here or living in Canada is the job. You guys, it's really difficult to get a good job when you move to Canada. Most times what people get is like the minimum, something to pay your bills, something that you can just live with as the day goes by, like living from paycheck to paycheck. It's not really easy to find yourself in the same space. When I mean the same space, the same thing you were doing back home, you just come here and you get the same job or the same type of job. People do that, people get that, but it's not common, right? It's really not common. It gets really difficult. Before you can find yourself in your field, you need to like take some courses. Sometimes people go back to school just to like get these jobs. There are even people that school here, right? And it takes them a while before they can even like get into their career. You have to like order things, get different years of experiences before you finally get into the career. So it can really be a hassle. For instance, doctors, lawyers, like, nothing to write home about for those people. It takes so long for them to start practicing. Even though you're a doctor that practiced for over 10 years back home, when you come here, you don't have that, you can't practice, right? You have to take series of exams and all of that before you can start practicing. So it can really get hectic. Another reason or another downside of moving to Canada is the weather. You guys, the weather can be really shitty. Like, it can be really bad. Right now we're in the winter season, right? It snowed terribly yesterday and it's super cold, like very cold. For someone like me who's coming from like a very humid climate, it takes a while to readjust to this kind of things. Even people that are here, that have been here for a while, they still tell you that they can never get used to this weather. That's how bad it is. Since I came into this country, I've been having like a runny nose. Like, my nose is always running and all of that. So it gets really cold here. It gets so cold up to the extent that you can't even feel your fingers sometimes. Like, they are numb. It feels they can't even move. It gets that cold. And for someone that stays in Calgary, Calgary is one of the coldest cities in Canada, and Canada is one of the coldest countries in the world. So you can imagine how much people have to deal with. Even most times, even when you're properly dressed and all of that, layering and all that, you still get cold. People have to like shovel their snow and all of that. Like, I almost fell today, you guys, because of the snow. Like, and again, when it snows, right, the surrounding is really messy. It's really messy. It's not a good sight to behold. And sometimes when it snows, the snow turns to ice. So those are the things that make people fall. So it makes the floor really slippery and all of that. So adjusting to that kind of weather is really difficult. And the fact that in the entire year we have longer winter periods than every other season. So that's why, because when I came, it was like spring, or it was like almost summer, right? And during summer, people here were dressing like the dressing here was off the hook. It felt like people were stark naked. So now I understand why people dress that way, because in the winter you're all covered up, wearing different layers of clothes, looking like a I don't even know what to say right now. Like, you wear different things that look like duvets just to protect yourself from getting cold, right? And in the summer, that lasts for just 2 months. You really want to expose yourself and get all the heat that you can get. And also when it's hot here, like in the summer, that is really hot. So their weathers are really extreme. When it's cold, it's really cold. When it's hot, it's really hot. So another downside of moving here or living here is the culture difference. There's this notion that Canadians are very nice. They are not the outspoken type, right? They can be upset with you, but they don't say it. They don't show it. So that's the way they are. For instance, in your workplace, maybe you have something to do, right? Your boss tells you to do something. Maybe he expects you to do A and you do B. So the normal thing we are used to back home, they will tell you outright, no, this is not what I asked you to do it this way. But here they'll be like, oh, this looks really good, but don't you think you'd have done it this way? They are indirectly telling you that what you did is trash, that other way is the right way to do it. Do you get what I mean? Or sometimes you do stuff and they'll be like, oh, no worries, please worry. Please worry. Honestly, just worry, because they sound so nice. They always want to smile at you. You get what I mean? You can just be on the street and maybe you and someone like have eye contact and the next person is smiling. I'm still getting used to that because it's weird to me. Back home, people don't do that, and my usual facial expression, it feels like I'm frowning, right? So when someone does that, it's just awkward for me to smile back. When I came here newly, I'm like, what's doing this one? But over time, I'm used to it now, so even sometimes I smile and all of that. So yeah, that's that. And the last downside of living here or moving to Canada is taxes. Coming from Nigeria, we pay taxes, but it was not a common thing, and we don't even pay the way they pay it here. In Canada, whatever you buy, just know that that is not the price. For instance, if you go to the grocery store or any store in particular and you take something off the shelf, the price on the shelf or the price you see on the shelf is not what you're gonna pay. When you get to the counter to pay, they're gonna add tax. And Alberta is one of the provinces that are really good with the taxes, because here we just pay GST, but most provinces you have to pay the HST and GST kind of tax. So imagine you buy something that is maybe $500, and for GST you pay 5% of whatever you buy. I don't know what HST is for different provinces. Imagine paying 5% and an additional percentage. So it's a lot. When you're being paid your salary, before you get your paycheck, they've taken tax from you. They've taken tax from your salary. Like is something else. When you buy a property, as long as you have that property, even though you're done paying your mortgage, you keep paying property tax. Yeah, it doesn't stop. You keep paying that. Anything you buy, anything you purchase at all, you're gonna pay tax. Even when you shop online, like shop on Amazon and all of that, they add taxes to your final bill. Even till today, I'm still not used to it. I mean, I'm getting better with time, right? But sometimes when you spend some sort of money and you see the amount you're paying on tax, you'll be like, oh my God, like, why so much? Why am I paying so much on tax? And another good thing they do is there's a particular time in the year where you have to file your taxes, so that way you get some money back. So that's some sort of consolation for people. So that brings us to the end of the video. These are my thoughts and my opinions regarding this topic. If you have other things to say, you can leave them down in the comment section down below. If you disagree with what I said, you can also leave your comments in the comment section down below. Ensure to leave them respectfully, okay? Okay. So yeah, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and until next time, my loves, I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye.